Thinking about Heavenly, Claudette, Baby Bella, and all those who've lost their lives too suddenly. Stressed out about how we could be here today and gone tomorrow. Pause, think about it intentionally, and consider where we go from here. Stay tuned and listen to what Khandi Gibson has to say from families of all murdered victims on overcoming the pain of losing a loved one tragically. Join our co-sponsors Dom Dev Enterprises and Apache Investments and our friends down there at Islandese and 242 Elite as we ask questions that is pertinent to our society today that help us raise the lid so that we could become a better country. Post your questions. Tell us where you are, what you would like to hear answered, and we will go from there. We'll be right back.
Something to think about with Dale Happy Knowles.
Welcome back to Something to Think About with Dale Happy Knowles. What we think, we become. What we radiate, we attract. And what we imagine, we surely can achieve. So let's change the narrative 242. And this evening, we have, once again, as the show grows from strength to strength, another special guest. And we have Ms. Khandi Gibson, who is a JP, a director of a nonprofit organization called F.O.A.M, Families of All Murdered Victims. And she is also a part of the Agape Housing Project and F.O.A.M's Community Center. Their objective is to establish a nurturing environment for family members, especially children, to have somewhere they can get professional counseling, financial assistance, food, clothing, shelter, job placements if necessary, etc., etc. Sounds like a grandmother extraordinaire. But the motto is to making life easier for those in need and hurting amongst us. Welcome, 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 Khandi.
Thank you, Mr. Happy Knowles. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. It's a pleasure to have you. It's been a long time that you've been so busy. We see you a lot, but you can't stay put. You always on the move. You like that Proverbs, what is it, 31 lady out there. And, I ain't quote the Bible too much, but, I know it, but I just can't quote it. Yeah. Cool. So, we saw Alveda Moss post up on the screen just now, and she says hi there. But, people don't know or did not know that I know you from another place. And in this place, you were known as an customer service extraordinaire, right? It just seemed like whatever you touched, the people just started to love you. I don't know if that's where you, obviously it had to start before that, but I don't know if that's where you got your confidence from. But when you got the call and you decided to leave PTC, a lot of people were crying, including Mrs. Moss there, who was on the screen a couple seconds ago. Because, she used to come to my office all the time. And so, that was a challenge for us. But, the God know exactly what he wants people to do. And he had you to do greater things than what you were doing at PTC, at Patelco. So we thank you and her for both of your services there and the services that you'll continue. But if we look at that, though, tell us then how or what it is about you or who that gives you that driving spirit to be a people's person, to want to help people and to give service above yourself.
I would, like I say again, good afternoon, everybody. My driving force is God. My driving force is Jesus Christ. Without him, I am nothing. That's the same my strength. Because like you say, I just like an energized body. I be here one day, run over here, do that the next day, run over here, do that the next day. And it's like F.O.A.M has revolved so much throughout the years. Like we just started out with just dealing with murder victims' children, and from the children went on to the entire family, and then from there they went on to domestic abuse. They went on to housing people. From then they went on to um, finding them gainful employment. From then it was a clothing pantry. It was advocacy. We started advocating, speaking out for the unjust. Then it went on during COVID-19 to paying persons rent and to speaking out every time the coconut water boys were arrested, finding attorneys to go and represent them pro bono to court, and also not say but also having persons come together pay their fines. And so we pretty much like our motto is making life easier for those in need and hurting amongst us. We try our daily best to live by that code.
Well, that's some big shoes, and you expanding, and F.O.A.M has been around for how long now?
God is good, 9 years and counting, June 1st. This year is going to make 10 years we've been around.
Yeah, and like how big an organization is it?
I can tell anybody this is one of the leading grassroots NGOs.
There you go. Cool. Awesome. And so when we look at the people now and in the Bahamas in particular, it seems like we're becoming numb to all of these things that's happening. Maybe it's because it's happening so often, or people talk about it so often, that we generally becoming numb to these things. Before, if we heard of a situation, a murder, or some significant abuse and stuff, the whole community, the village got up in an uproar and started screaming and knocking on shoulders and beating up politicians, not literally, but, to do certain things and stuff like that. But it don't seem like we get that outcall no more. So it's only groups like yourselves who are reaching out. So are we becoming numb from that perspective?
Yeah, we become numb long time, almost like we immune to what's going on. Someone getting killed, no big deal. Like long as they're in your family, big deal. And I can't remember who it was, but it was a certain person said like it was nonchalant, like big deal. It's only killers getting killed. It's only the haunted being haunted. So that was the perspective. But then the chicken came home to roost, and they see any one of us can be the next victim. It's not bad boys killing bad boys. It's anyone can be. Look at a lady the other day, Miss Claudette Capron, God rest her dead, on her way to church, doing the right thing. Feet away from the church to open the church door and get a stray bullet because two feuding young men choose to go after each other. A stray bullet hit her, and she said she wasn't out nightclubbing, she wasn't out partying, she wasn't gambling, she was at a church. And I did that's my church, and I'm not gonna mash no guns, but I held the candlelight vigil, and I feel like the turnout should have been more, especially the fact that a female got killed on the church ground. I feel like other church should have came out support. When one cry, we all should cry. And I always often said that when one mother cry for a child, we should cry too. But like I say, we become immune until it happens.
Yeah. Now, how do we then sensitize or get the receptors rolling again in the public of us who have become numb, who insensitive or indifferent or whatever the word is?
To be honest with you, we are living in the last days. The Bible speaks of the heart of man wax cold, and this where we actually see it happen. Did the heart of man have waxed cold? Men now becoming lovers of themselves and pleasure of themselves, and so I would want to say this for you to be sensitized to this and to be compassionate towards this. You have to have a passion for it. This have to be in you. Because if it ain't in you, like for instance, how many people were getting killed in this country until when I spoke to Batelco, and I used to watch the news so much on TV and obituary so much that when someone died, I'd be like, oh, that so and so who died, whatever. And so when they come to Batelco, I don't care who in the line before them. I serving them. They come in here for it because they grieving, and then they come with the obituary of they loved ones. I don't have their cell phone disconnected because their loved one got killed or died, and they want to do a name change, a transfer, something. And when I realize it's them, or I watch as I see it's them, they'll be the first person I call or I serve that day because I sensitive to what you're going through. Another time,
Right.
I had no one killed yet. You understand me? So when my first brother got killed at 11, I was like, whoa.
He was
Now you
11?
start to see. No, he got killed in 2011.
Oh, 2011.
Probably right now 11. He got killed. And I was like, oh, and this the pain is real now. You know what it's like to hear other person tell their loved ones being murdered in our country. Now the pain hit you now. Now I ain't gonna lie, when Anto got killed, Happy, I cried for 8 months straight.
Wow.
I cried so much that my mommy said, she's asked, what happened, Candy? Someone beat you in your face? Someone slap you? I used to cry and then my face was swollen. And so, like I say again, it only he who feels it knows it happy. If you haven't felt that pain, you can't comprehend. You
Right.
can't
Yeah.
comprehend.
So, and I guess when we look at the whole picture, yeah, feeling it is one thing, and people, we don't really want you to have that experience to feel it from any tragic point of view. We know we all have to die at some point in time, but not tragically. Um, but is there anything else that we could do in the public domain to cause people to be more sensitive?
I think persons need to be more like people say, I would say like death is inevitable. We have to die. How we go, none of us know it. But I'd want like persons to be like more compassionate because someone getting killed, you can't prepare yourself for that. I'm like, I think even a time off from work should be a little longer. Like, okay, some people get killed and you're like, I told me, is the mother home? Oh no, she had to go to work. I'm like, but her son or her daughter's get killed and she had to go to work. I feel like the way we deal with them, a murder victim's family should be more sensitive. Also, I feel like even just the up and down, you gotta go to the morgue and then the police station, see you to the victim's family on the department. Then you gotta go to social services and NIB. I feel like even all that is just too lengthy when you're grieving. And then too, you are referred to counselor. Yes, you're broken and yes, you're hurting, but you're so traumatized that you need help, but you can't even reach out for help. Sometimes you don't feel like bedding. Just get out the
Okay.
house. So I feel like these are times where we should have like counselors and pastors, like not just come to the forefront to walkabouts when the incident happened, but these people need to be on the ground even after because that first week, oh yeah, everybody right, everybody just not. But as the week slow down, people forget. People, that's another victim. Like even like a Bella situation, Bella got killed like couple months ago. Every just say 3 to 5 days, I post my page, hashtag Bella, and I put the 4 purple hearts of Walter Bella waiting to get you. I
Right.
still remember. I don't see nobody else do it, but I still remember the soul, you know. And so like today, when someone is killed violently in our country, it makes headline today. What becomes of their father? What becomes of their family afterward? And I've been so busy, and I made a memo of it. Just simple as yesterday. Bella got killed. Yes, Bella have an 11-year-old brother. Yeah, we see her mother did this, and yeah, her stepdaddy accused of doing that. Bella have an 11-year-old brother. What about him? And so I just made a note that I have to reach out to him. I have to reach out to him.
So, what does the state do for persons? Well, twofold, I guess I could ask this question. One is if there's a police officer who would have shot the person and they found that the officer would have been in the wrong, or however it goes. I don't know. Maybe you could explain it better than me asking that type of question. What do victims, families, and the like get in return? Excuse me, from
Yes,
the
like you
state.
said, that's a twofold question because you do bear in mind now. Okay, the police shoot and kill your loved one. That is not considered murder. That case is then forward on to the coroner's court. When the last time we had a coroner court inquest? So you
Wow.
could imagine families around here bitter and hurting. angry and resentful. They just want closure. They just want answers, and they have to put or suppress their feelings because nobody feels fair. They deserve some answers. And you know what? Another thing too is like, okay, I can't speak for nobody because I wasn't there when these people get killed. For the first few years, um, the police wasn't fair for their life, so they opened fire.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
that's their story. Yeah, that's their story. That's fine. But what about the truth of the matter is, I know my loved one. My loved one don't carry a firearm. Never did. How could you come up with that story and then you expect me just to sit back there, let the case go to court, and wait till y'all get around to think my heart need closure? That is unfair. And then you have the civilians who are doing the killing. Okay, how many chances when your loved one is under the rock, under the cement? That's it. They could the person get arrested for killing your loved one. They get arrested. They go to court. They get to sleep on top of the concrete while your loved one gets to sleep under the concrete. They get to get visits. They get to eat. They get to sleep. They get to have their whatever necessities they have up there.
Right.
We all know what they have up there. They have a less. And so, and if they get bail, that's the Constitution right. You are entitled to bail because a man is innocent, woman or man is innocent, they're proven guilty. Okay, you get bail. Okay, that's how you get convicted. You go to Supreme Court, that's how you get convicted or you get freed. However, if you get convicted, you get to go to the appeal court and you go to a privy council. You have so much chances. But when you kill our loved one, that's it. That's it. And so it's just like there's people say, oh, justice for Johnny, justice for so and so. There is never no justice when your loved one is killed because death is final. Don't care whatever the person who would have harmed, attacked, or killed your loved one. That don't equivalent to your loved one. Because I'm not saying my first brother Andrew, he was disgusting. Oh my God, Andrew Harvey was disgusting. He was a case in a case without a case. That was
Oh, true.
Andrew. But nevertheless, that's still my brother. That's still my brother. Now, kind of Ochi was nothing like Andrew. Was nothing like, yeah, he had his challenges, but he was nothing like Andrew.
Right.
Andrew got shot 5 times. Kind of Ochi, 17.
What?
17. Andrew murder remains unsolved. Okay, no problem. Kind of Ochi, they have 2 guys for kind of Ochi. One is serving time now, and one gets retried. That is no justice to me.
Right. Right.
That is no,
Yeah.
but you know what is justice to me? Justice to me is like going back to the book of Job. Remember, the Satan had to get God's permission to touch Job, right? And God said, you can touch him, but don't touch his flesh. So I live by this teaching daily. The devil couldn't touch my brothers unless God wanted him to. So while they think they did me some unjust, man, they do me a favor. They did what they supposed to do. And so that's what gives me peace every day. They did what they were supposed to do.
Supposed to do it.
Yeah,
Well, I guess that's one way of looking at it.
so I look at it.
I always say that the good Lord wrote many paths for everybody, and it's for us to choose what path we take. And the circumstances that come about as a result of depending on the path that we chose to take. But when we look at this now, in terms of what you just said, that paints a picture as if that it pays to be criminal minded or criminal in actions, because even though after you might have gotten caught, you still living better. I shouldn't say living better, but living with substance, with items that are going to keep you afloat. Whereas people on the outside, if a loved one who was the breadwinner or someone could cause a breadwinner now not to function, now has to struggle in terms of how to continue to build their family. And so what the support system is for that. If we take a F.O.A.M out of the picture, what does the state or any other private entity out there, insurance or whoever, what does those things do to support persons, victims of in this case, like families and friends?
First of all, I really can't say what does anybody else. I know what this phone do. I know one thing for sure. If your loved one is murdered and he or she doesn't have sufficient contribution in at NIB, their child does not qualify for survivor's benefit. So that's a no-no. They get nothing from NIB. That's one. And so that's where home step, because when my brothers got killed, they left children. And they didn't have sufficient contribution in, so their children couldn't get anything. And I'm saying to myself, if your loved one get killed and they only make five contribution, and that's just $5, give the children the $5. That's
Right.
simple. What it could be there for? That's my 5 cents. But nevertheless, everybody have a way of doing things, and that's how F.O.A.M started. F.O.A.M started because there's just too much up and down when your loved one get killed. The children need to eat. They entitled to warm clothes. They entitled to back to school supplies. They entitled to come to Christmas parties. They entitled to have Christmas gifts. They entitled for gainful employment. They entitled to these stuff. And so even though the sole breadwinner is no longer here, these children still with us. And if we don't show them love, and if we don't care for them and nurture them, it's gonna be a sad. It's gonna be a same cycle because, and you know, it's so sad, happy. It's like when I go to some of the homes that these young men came from, and even female came from, that got killed. I'm like, there was no way out.
Right. Right. Well,
You know, that there was no way out. You
it's
know,
just the parents, right?
yes, you
The
understand me.
perspective
And
they
then,
get, right?
yes, you understand that the brother didn't have a chance. He didn't have a fighting chance. You know, you grow up in this community all your life. This is what you see all your life. Your uncles them did drugs. Your brother did drugs. Your daddy did drugs. Your grandfather did drugs. What chance you get? The whole community is drugs. And then you have these young men today. They all seasoned criminals. They all now an age. So they breeding in the young men. They
Right.
breeding them in. They're pulling them right in. This is our chance. And then and you know what's so sad too? Certain areas you can't even the front can't go to back. The back can't even go to middle section. So what chance do they have? You know?
Yeah.
And
You got
it's
keep
just
them
sad.
engaged. Otherwise, yeah, somehow. Yeah.
We have to some persons can't even come to the area and go to the next area unless it be a problem. And you can imagine, happy you go into school with me, just say all your life or through high school. Now we out of school, I can't even hail you because you ride in one gang or you in this area. If I hail niggas, might think I supplying with firearms, so they might come and collect me, or they might think I
Right.
snitching. You can imagine. And so happy we have to look at this crime thing in a way whereas like we have to be open mind. We can't just deal with this one way because this the crime in our country and even in the world is just like it's just like a big round cycle.
Cycle. Yeah.
It
From
continue, it goes on, and it goes on. It's like a revolving circle.
yeah. So and that's something that we gotta continue to put energy towards from stopping or breaking the cycle. But Helen Bartle Hannah says here that she's sorry for your loss, and then she said, is there an initiative to reach out to school-age children to sensitize them to the pain and grief of the loss so that their generation will want to be a part of the solution?
Yes, we have. I'm gonna tell you what. We have so many plans. We have so many workshops we want to do, but don't care what you do. Happy. It boils down to funding. You could have the idea, you could have the vision on paper and pen. Everything is funding. And so what we started like about 3 years ago, we started group therapy. We would ask persons who would have lost their loved ones to come in and we do group therapy with them with Dr. Camille Bullitt. We'd have
Okay.
we'd have group therapy with them. And COVID-19 ended up coming, so that's what threw everything out of whack. And then we started our Kids Matters. That
Right.
was a reading and mad kiosk for murder victim kids, and we even included inmate kids in all that program
Right.
because at the end of the day, these children still live amongst us, where their father or mother got killed, or even their father or mother is incarcerated. They still a part of our society, and so we find ourselves just want to reach out for the children.
Right. Right. Yeah. So now, just to put a little bit of perspective to this, we see or hear the police give the numbers as to how many persons would have been murdered in the year and so forth. And we hear about all of the heinous ones on the news and the like. But there's the tempted and otherwise. To put perspective, you have numbers on those so people could see what magnitude of a challenge we're talking about here?
So I would have it, I would have it, but I would have it on me.
Okay.
Hold on.
No. Yeah. So I mean, if that's the case, then that's fine. But so then, what else is the pain like that these children and family members and stuff go through? Because I mean, if like you say, if you never had it, you might not know. But is there something that you could correlate it to so that people could have an idea I know when I say if I mash my finger, I know what kind of pain
I
that is, and but
I can't even describe it. I wouldn't even tell you what that pain is like. That pain is like a I can't even describe that pain. That's like a never ending pain. It gets suppressed for a certain period of time, and then something comes up and then it triggers off again. Like when it's trigger minds off, like Christmas and
right.
birthdays and those holidays when everybody out shopping with their loved one and you're watching this one celebrate loved one, this and that, and like and you're not around to celebrate them and so forth, and I ain't gonna lie, you don't forget their birthdays. You don't forget their birthdays. I don't care how long you do. Don't forget. Every year I post on my brother's birthday. I post them up. You don't forget the day they got killed. You never forget it. Um, Happened. I went and it was so sad to happy. Some persons got killed and even leave them with me a child to even hold on to. So I'm
Wow.
fortunate my brothers got killed and all together they left 6 kids. Then when I see them, I am still I can still hold on my brother's
Right.
memory.
Right.
And then happy like what is made me feel sad to like here I doing stuff and I accomplishing stuff and they ain't here to share it with me. And so
Yeah.
that is how me like sometimes bittersweet you can't you just you're climbing the ladder of success. But the two who you want to be here to share it with and see you who has someone faking you, they're not here. But then I had to remind myself too, if they were here, you wouldn't have been here. You wouldn't have been doing this. Because there wouldn't have been no reason for that.
Because I was just going to say that even though they're not here, people always say the good Lord works through mysterious ways. I always say it's not mysterious to Him; it's mysterious to us. But
Yeah.
that could be their contribution, their life, giving up their life. They help you excel to be the you that the good Lord put you on this earth to do great things for the masses. And when I say masses, I don't just mean poor people. I mean the majority, the people out there. And so, but tell us now, what do you think causes people to go off over the edge that they would don't? Because I look at some of my friends who used to be on the blocks with and stuff, and some of the people when I look at them, I look in their eyes and it look like I could look straight through. So I don't know if it's just stressed out. People don't feel like they belong. Society isn't embracing them. What would cause somebody to be able to get to the point where they could either pull a trigger or stab somebody or whatever?
Boy, I'm so happy. I can be real with you now. I'm gonna be real. Um, some people go through so much. They just a walking time bomb. And I tell and I tell and I got the ring. My, hold on 1 minute.
Yeah, so
Hold on.
folks, we have something to think about with Dale Happy Knowles, and we're here discussing the
Sorry about that. Yeah, like I tell
conversation
person stuff.
with Khandi Gibson and talking about overcoming the pain as a result of some of these items that murders and tragedies that has happened. Go ahead, Khandi.
Yeah, like persons like there's so many stuff persons go through, and we don't take it serious until they explode. And then you have some people too who, what I could say, what would I say? Some person you can't even say it's a lack of love in the home because some people they grow up with everything, but they still have an issue. So I can't really pinpoint what it is that causes the trigger off.
Right.
But the Bible tells us a kind word turn away wrath.
Yeah.
And until we start to put the Bible back in our daily life and Jesus first, I think we're gonna continue triggering people off or marching their corns. Even me sometimes too, I go someplace too. And the people, I mean, you ever see a person with an unapproachable face? And when they
I know what you
and the
mean.
way they yes, the way they talk to you and stuff, and I just say to myself, I think I'd be like, boy, she lucky boy, you understand what I wouldn't tell you understand me? And so I feel like we have to be mindful of how we even approach a person or what we say to a person because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know
Right.
what they're going through, and that's how I live my life. give it form. Before I, like, just say, like, I've been somewhere one day, and the lady after was so sting. I say, hey, I said, Miss, is everything okay? You, and I said, the same you. I say, I always come in here, and your attitude is not like this. I said, what? And then I said, let's talk. And then she said, I just had a rough day, I didn't get to sleep last night, really, because I said, I understand. I had tried to let me tell you something else. You work in a service environment, and your attitude can determine your altitude. Just suppose someone walking a day want to take you off this job. I was watching it a while, I want
Right.
to take you off, give you a bigger position. But the day you come, your attitude off. You didn't get to do again.
No.
And so I was able to calm her right. And I said, because I've been coming in, I've been observing you, and she was able to calm down. And so I still feel like it goes back to love. It goes back to compassion. We have to be mindful how we treat each other because we don't know what their daddy got killed, who boyfriend died in their arms, who mothers died of cancer, who lost their jobs, who fighting their car. We just don't know. So we have to always be. Now, I think it be perfect. It's something you myself, if I'm
Yeah.
off this, but I
Right.
have to step back myself. We have to be kind in our words and kind in our thoughts, a person.
Yeah. Wow. Love thy neighbor as thy love thyself. That's what I always say. If we could
Yeah.
do that, first we got to love ourselves, but if we could do that, it's great. And so, Alvida saying that does F.O.A.M have a food pantry?
Yes, we do. We had one now for 9 years and count. Yes, we
Wow.
do. Yeah, we don't turn persons away. We have disabled persons come to us. We have the senior citizens come to us. We don't just have murder victims. Our pantry is open to all. If we just gotta give you one bag of rice and one can of tuna, that's yours. You getting that. And we
Yeah.
also have
And
we had a female shelter, but it's now a housing project because we have males and females live there because COVID-19 came and we had males who were homeless too. So we
right.
now turn into a housing project.
Right. Wow. That's awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. And so Helen is saying here again, I say, has the government expressed an interest in subsidizing your program? That's pretty much the same question I was just about to ask. Yeah.
I would say yes. We do get governmental sponsors, but the issue in our country, see, I vocal bad. I vocal like Bannister say, you can't mess on me and call it ice cream or call it peanut butter. If it doesn't look right, it doesn't sit right, I can speak out. And that's me. I believe in equal rights and justice for us all. I can speak out, I can tell you what you should do, whatever. And so, and some people are very thin skinned, you can't really tell them what they should do because as far as they're concerned, they have all the answers, but me
Right.
who on the ground working every day, I can see the problem and
Right.
someone understand the solution. Yeah.
Right. And so we're coming up on to the break where we could advise for some of the persons who support the show here, something to think about Dale Happy Knows. But before that, a couple of questions. Why are we seeing this elevation in cases? Does it
You mean a
seem like
murder
it's
case?
happening more and more and more and faster and faster and faster?
You
Now,
mean
I
a
don't know if
murder
it's just
case?
that we now on social media or the like and we getting to know about it more, or this is an actual increase.
You mean a murder cases or domestic violence?
Both, yeah.
Well, like I would say it again, this is prophecy being fulfilled from the Bible. Um, you must realize now that poverty is the lovers of money, people the root of all evil. I think poverty is the root of all evil because once a person is poor, they don't have time to learn. They're trying to make that money. So which means that instead of their children be in school, get their education, they out selling kidnap and juju and so forth. The children don't want to go to school because they probably go back to school in the same shirt and
Great,
pants
right.
and gun and stinging up or whatever. Then you have some children, sad to say is don't care how we try with them. They just gifted with their hands. So they might have it up here mentally, but they gifted with their hands. They can fix this, they can do that, they can do that. And so we have to now look at ways whereas we can reach these children where they're at because you can imagine you forcing, oh, can they read this? Can they do that? What is X plus Y equals 10?
Right.
I do all this, but this can't help me fix the TV. This can't help me fix the iron. So I feel like we have to now meet these children where they're at. We know at grade 6 or 7, they say, guess what, scanning into this, scanning the cosmetology, change the fix in
Right.
here, change that. And so we now have to be sure where they are for a better future of our
Right.
country.
Yeah. And so you touched on what some of the drivers are for that already in terms of the behavior. But and on that same line as to helping the children, then in those children who are struggling, how does the pain manifest itself? Is it through acting out themselves or what?
Yes,
So people
the
would know
pain,
what to look out for, right?
pain do manifest. Like I said, children could suppress it. We all suppress it. We all, like, I'm not gonna say word, like, I witnessed my boyfriend got killed in 2015,
Wow.
and I suppressed that. I suppressed it. I suppressed it, like, for basically like about 5 years. I suppressed that because I was so busy worrying what people think of me, and the whole yada yada, whatever the case. I suppressed it 5 years. 5 years, and after 5 years, I cried. I cried. Like, I was so busy worrying if I would have been killed or whatever, whatever. So after 5 years, I actually cried. When I say cried, I cried, actually let it all out. But I've seen, like, murder victim children are hurting. They're hurting silently. Like, it was two situations. This hit me because it was my family member. My nephew, Christmas gone. He is now 15, and he said, F a Christmas gift. Just give me my dad folks back.
Right.
He would say, hey, I'm picture of him in the style. He say, I miss you, dog. 10 years without you.
Right.
I felt so bad. And then we had my little niece. She told my daughter, said, you have it so good. So when you could call when you could go to your mommy for something and your mommy don't have it, you could call your daddy. Say, but who I get to call? Mommy don't have it. You could go by your daddy. I don't have a daddy to go by. And so
Right.
this stuff is suppressed. There's no why. Until they see other children living their life with their mother, their daddy, and they don't have that luxury or those benefits, then what?
Right. Right. Yeah. It's a struggle. It's a big, 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 big struggle. Well, you've been listening to Something to Think About with Dale Happy Knows. We're here with Khandi Gibson of F.O.A.M. And we are having this discussion, which I don't know if I should have put up a warning sign because it could cause some people. I know some people are very emotional out there to go off a little bit in terms of breaking down themselves. But we want to be real in this life. This is what the show is all about, and we like to try and help people to find value in the conversations so that they can make life a better life for themselves. And that's our goal here on the show. And so we'll be right back after these messages.
Sammy's Chicken. There's nothing like it.
Sometimes it's hard to find a company that can get the job done right. At Mission Complete, we do just that. Mission Complete offers a wide variety of services from janitorial to sanitation to pressure washing pool decks and patios. We're also proud to offer COVID-19 decontamination for your home or business. And for those multi-legged critters, we call in our pest control and rodent team. Why call 4 different companies when you can call just one and get the job done? Call us now and let's get this mission started.
Welcome back to Something to Think About with Dale Happy Knowles. We're having a conversation this evening with Khandi Gibson, the leader, driver, everything extraordinaire of F.O.A.M. And we're talking about overcoming the pain that manifests itself as a result of death and tragedy and the like. So welcome back, Khandi, to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So when we look now, moving forward, and we look here at how does F.O.A.M help overcome the pain from this tragedy, and then the NGOs, other NGOs, public, government. What exactly? Walk us through a day in the life of members of F.O.A.M.
Okay. First of all, when we first started, we used to be on like every murder scene. Every murder scene that would have been
Wow.
Khandi Gibson, D'Amico, Abou, was Tanya Minutes, was a Black, was Barry Trico. We used to be on those scenes. Maxine Rowe, we used to be on those scenes, hugging the family, whatever, counseling the family, walking them through the process. But through the years, I stopped going on the murder scene. But what we do is the day after, or maybe 2 days after, we go to families, we hear them stories. Sometimes a mother would tell you from her having labor pains, from she had that child, her having labor pains, to him going to school, his teeth dropping out what he'd say, and very bugger. And sometimes you go and you will spend 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes you're 15, 20 minutes, and you're like, probably like an hour, maybe an hour, 15 minutes, and you can't shut them up. They just want vent. So if they want vent, I just have to just take my shoes off, just cross my leg, and just start listening and hear what they got to say and so forth, you know? And so then we then find about the kids. Are they, the kids left any kids behind? What ages, what school they go to? Are they the children with one baby mom? Do you have a contact number for the baby mothers? We get that information. And we sign them up for our program, but now we're trying to get some cards now that when we go out, we'll be able to give them a card. They'll be able to come to the office, and the card will have from January to December. So every time you come, you get the card punch. You say you were here in this one or whatever month ago. So we give them the grocery assistance. We provide new and glues clothes for the children. We also get their names. So Christmas come, we get persons to sponsor them Christmas gift. We also, before the COVID-19, we had person, we got to adopt a child for back to school, where we asked person to adopt a child and get that child ready. Jessica, you would get your own child ready for school, get that child ready for back to school. So we would do that. So we have made their life, their burden easy, and then like whatever programs we have going, whether it's our kids matters, reading a math kiosk, we get them involved. We have persons involved to call them and check up on them. And God, it's so good. We just open up an outlet in Freeport. So Freeport, where it becomes now our place where they can express themselves, where they can vent, where them and their turn to get new and newest clothing and groceries. So we pretty much doing our part, like I said, to make life easy for them who are going through. And also, we had partnership with 6 preschool even before the previous administration did it. We had partnership with 6 preschool that if the father or mother got killed, they get free scholarship in age between 1 to 4. Free scholarship. That's what the time they're there for 1 to 4 free scholarship. So
yeah, so I mean, these are real, tangible, and meaningful and impactful activities. So I'm sure you all would welcome support from whoever out there around the world. Once it's laudable, I'm sure you follow all of the KYC rules and all that kind of stuff as an NGO yourselves and so forth. But what does F.O.A.M reach out into coordinating or collaborating with other NGOs or the government or people in the public itself to get more help or more assistance for persons, or you stick to the actual family?
I know we collaborate with anybody. We don't narrow ourselves or box ourselves in. Like I said, our motto is making life easier for those that need hurting amongst us. That means we about this. Like I said, person, the door I haven't knocked on yet. It's the door that wasn't built yet. Okay. So I would knock on anybody's door seeking assistance for persons who need help, whether it be someone who's homeless, whether it's someone need a job, whether it be grocery assistance, rental assistance. I would be knocking on doors just to make sure that person get assistance.
And when we talk about that assistance now, because you mentioned some earlier where you said that persons, when an incident happened, they might need more time off. And so in the laws of the land, if you have a child, there's so much time that the mother is given off from work for the raising of the child and the bonding, I guess they call it, something like that. And then now even at least the Petalco union and maybe some other unions negotiated for the father to have similar time. So is there a need for this time and energy and the like to happen for the family or immediate what you call it, like how you have a dependent. So if somebody happened in my household, the person who is most akin, closest akin or whatever term, is there a need for those? Because I'm thinking that they would need counseling and assistance, and there can be strife times when they can be struggling.
Yes, I think, like I said earlier, I think we need to increase the days, times off from work, because um everybody grieve differently. When it might take you 1 week or 1 month to grieve, it might take somebody else probably a lifetime. I've watched mothers grieve themselves to death. You know what I mean? They self until they actually can't live no more. And so I would say they need to give persons more time. Like I think it's like what 14 days or stuff. I can't remember days, but however they got them. I feel it's too soon for you to turn back to work after your loved one, I think. And some of them watch your children take their last breath. Some of them was fool when they come to the house and kill their child. You understand me? And so I think there be time allotted for you to grieve.
Right.
For you to grieve, because you can imagine loved one getting killed and you gotta come back to the work and perform like nothing happened.
Right.
And do bear in mind, if the person is caught, it's the up and down with the case. You understand me? And how the system designed to open up that wound that you're trying to keep closed. Okay, if the person is caught, they go to court today. Okay, that case don't come up again until another couple of months. They get to hear about the case again. Then it don't happen. It's just like opening your store. You keep bucking that cut. So keep hurting over and over again. I feel like give you more time off and work.
Yeah, and so when people say they want to bring closure, that's what you're talking about now. Because if particularly with the coroner's case, and I heard a minister speaking of it the other day, or one of them speaking of it the other day, that really and truly it's under capacity, so it can't really keep up with what it needs to do, and so it's a disservice to the families of the victims or persons who were there, and so forward. So all of that plays a big role, and you would have gone through it twice. I mean, once is not enough. You got to do it twice. But so that must be very strenuous on yourself as you go through doing this type of work, right? And I know you, like me, you say if you're doing what you love, it's not work, but it's still be human, right? We are human, so we can feel it somehow. So how do you separate doing and going at the pace you go at with all of the energy and focus and dedication and drive to help people when, like you say, a birthday or this or that comes up and it triggers something in the mind, and then you have flashbacks with your brothers and stuff? How do you keep going through it? How do you separate it for one to do it? Yeah.
Happy, like I would say again, it's only God. It's even my strength, and even it's just not even me, because I only God have me here to be the strength for many. Good me, I ain't gonna word lie. I do have like the other day. I did a video crying, like someone that get killed, and I was just so broken. I was just crying. I was on Facebook crying, and like the people don't know what they do. The people's families that they broke us down or whatever the case is, and was so sad. I'm happy. If I feel this person who doing this, committing these crimes, they only could see and understand and hear from us how they make us feel. I think then, they might change. But it's like, then again, these people don't know God. Then again, I can't say I know God, because I knew God and I want revenge. I was in church evangelizing, doing a liturgical dance. When my first brother get killed, I wanted blood. So I can't say I know God. It's just that we just live in a world with good and evil. Oh, we just live
Wow.
in a world with good and evil.
So keep God on your compass, and then I will keep you
Yeah,
straight
grounded.
and
Yeah,
going
yeah,
in the right way.
yeah.
Right. Okay. So when we look at the attitude now of these young youths and the oldest who are committing these heinous crimes and the like, how or what is it about their attitude? Is it their our broadopsy, the program of our broadopsy that is breathing for people to want to tell you that they can do these things and get away with it, or is it something
Coffee,
else that is driving people to do these type of activities?
coffee, I can't even say yes, and I can't even say no. You know, some people they um they born and doomed into failure. Some children have no way other way out. I just shared a video on my page like a few days ago. Two brothers got killed on the same day at a barber store. And then when you trace back, I guess what who their father was, okay, they trace back to who their brother is. We have had 3 generations sometimes killed. The granddaddy murdered, the father murdered, and his child murdered. But I do believe that there's something called generational curse. That we have to curse from the root, and that come out by prayer and fasting. We have to stay on knees and we have to pray. Because nothing of this is under the Son of Jesus Christ. But there's something called, I would say, um, generational curse. And then too, the Bible say you have to separate yourself from amongst them. Sometimes when people see change, they have to come out from these areas or come out from what's going on. And it's so sad, you know. You would hear stories with Jess when he or she was about to come out, got killed. They got killed happy. So it's the environment, yeah. Some is generational curse, yeah. Okay, it goes back to poverty and education, not being able to understand. And it's serious thing in our country. So like I just had a young man in my office today, and in a situation I reached out to him and he came here I'm not gonna tell you word lie happy. I thank God for the gift of influence I have in my life. And I told myself something. I say, I don't get paid to do this, you know. I doing this because you know why? When my second brother got killed, the pastor gave an altar call. He said, which one of you will stand up today and say, you would not allow a wounded soldier to die? I picked up the mantle. I stood up. I said, I will not allow a wounded soldier to die. You have some men out there happy. They reach out for help in their own uncertain way. We just have to be in tune to understand the sign. You understand me? But they're reaching out. We just have to have our eyes open to see, I guess, what this young brother needs help. You know, he don't have it all together. And this young man sat in his office today happy, and he cried his eyes and heart out. You hear me? And I said to him, I feel blessed today. He said, what you feel blessed about? I said, I was afforded the opportunity for you to be real in here. You don't have to be macho with me. You don't have to be rugged with me. I was afforded the opportunity. I feel honored for you to be in here and express yourself the way you did.
Right.
And he left the office. And, you know, we still in contact and whatever the case is, you know. And so we just have to try to win them by all costs. And this is where, like I say again, don't care what we do, copy. If we ain't doing with Christ, he's a failure. So
Yeah.
I ain't perfect, man. You happy. So
Yeah.
everything I do happy, I put God in the first. And I try look at people the way Christ looked at me when I was in my mess.
Right.
And I was a mess. I was in cow web and spider web, all the webs, even webcam and all. I was in that. But but God had mercy upon me. And so they say His mercy, so I wouldn't let go. His mercy.
Right. Right. Yeah. And so that begs the question then: are men in our society sympathetic to the cause or when persons are killed, what's happening with families and so forth. Are the men out there, are men supporting F.O.A.M? Let me ask the question that way too. Yeah.
I have men support F.O.A.M. I have in the past. I had drug dealers. I had people caught up in this stuff that supported F.O.A.M. They now some of them now are deceased. Um, I don't want to live happy. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
This heart.
Mm-hmm.
All of us have got it. All of us have a conscience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some of you might have to pry a little deeper, little deeper to get it, but we all have a heart. And if you hear some of their stories and know what is right for what they're doing, mind you, but how they got then, why this happening, what didn't happen. You have a lot of men walking around happy with a boss, but they're
Mm-hmm.
broken.
Yeah.
You have a lot of men who in this gang job were molested. The only way they could feel they getting something if they ball, they just hurt somebody because someone done hurt them, someone hurt them. Somebody, it's not right.
Right.
But we don't know what people going through. They do dig deeper and you see, like when I hear stories, this person get killed or this person, they say this person killed someone. And the person I go to is, who his mommy is, but who his daddy is. And they say, but you know someone, so I thought, oh my God, daddy got killed, I think when he's how old. And when
Mm-hmm.
you hear the story, like when I went Freeport the other day, lady, her son got killed at 20, and a couple years later, fast track now, her next killer shot and killed by the police. And
Mm-hmm.
because they said his brother got killed, and they never knew who killed the brother or names were called, and they never got arrested. He just turned up beat.
Wow.
So some people, we don't understand what triggers people off. I know a guy right now, his brother got killed, and they wore purple to the funeral, and every time he see purple, he goes crazy.
Wow.
But people don't understand. People don't understand.
Yeah. Well, we're coming down to the end here now. So I wanted to ask these two questions. Well, one question mainly in terms of for 2022, what is F.O.A.M's goals? What would you like to accomplish?
Okay, to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
I want a bigger building. I need a bigger building.
Where is your building? Yeah, so people can know.
Number six,
Yeah.
number 68 Alexander Boulevard is the NASA Village.
Okay.
I have
Mm-hmm.
outgrown this space so much. I believe in God for someone to bless me with a building.
Mm-hmm.
If the government wish to bless me with a piece of crown land, that could be a perfect start. Yeah, but I believe in God, like to bless me with a building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy. Um, we feed persons every last Friday in a month.
Okay.
That came courtesy of the Revolutionary Black Panther Party, but we want to do
Mm-hmm.
it now every last Sunday in the month. But I want to give them like when you go into a restaurant and
Mm-hmm.
you're able to see you want fish or you want chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I want I want to be able to they could be able to see what they're getting. They
Mm-hmm.
have a choice of just giving them what we have. I want
Mm-hmm.
people they go into hard times, but they
To
go
build
into
some
it and they
dignity. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you understand me? So I want to be able. You
Mm-hmm.
want chicken or you want fish? You want mashed potato or you want rice? I need a bigger building.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have a housing project now, but I want a all-inclusive female shelter. I want where even person staying there and have social services do the best they can. They keep up these
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks going through. 2 weeks is sufficient time for any woman fleeing for safety or wanting safety away from her abuser.
Yeah,
That's a
hold
sufficient.
on, hold on, hold on. So if you need to be in a safe house or something like that, you're saying that the program only allows for 2 weeks?
2 weeks, and so if you need extension because you could imagine if
Wow.
I flee in my abuser or the perpetrator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
2 weeks. Where can I go in 2 weeks? Sometimes the people running for their life, they're not working, they're
Mm-hmm.
unemployed. Children got to go to school. They don't have any car. Some of them never work in their life. They are dependent on the perpetrator.
Right.
And so right now, I just believe in God right now. I'm going to do bigger building. I just need more funding because you only could do so much on a one time $3,000 or one time $2,000. That's for government side. But then,
Right.
you have other funds to other thing. I might give you one at $500 here, but that's not constant. That's not like every month.
Right. Yeah.
Every month I
Sporadic.
on a hustle because I have staff to pay. I have an office I'm renting here, and you have to keep the office running. You need ink, you need paper, and in the pantry, you have to buy groceries to keep the pantry full. And so for your children, they need school buy, they shoes. Sometimes you find yourself with to have this money on hand to make sure these stuff you go to the family and have cards to carry the family and so forth. So we need funding is a must when you're doing an organization like this. Like too, some days I go to family members and my car had on E. I don't know how I put gas in my car, but I still go whatever the case is. And so funding is a key thing in the work I do. Funding.
Yeah, so you all would benefit good if those people down there on the road who get gas from the sun would bless you all with electric vehicle.
Yes, yes, yes,
That,
we would.
that'd be good. And we'll send them a note and hopefully they will help you.
Please.
So I don't know if I want to ask this question, but let's just see here. Let me just ask it this way. Where do we go from there? Where does F.O.A.M and the Bahamas go in terms of being able to address and help people overcome these channels, cause the instances to reduce, and people to be in a better state, better quality of life so that we could have a better overall everything? How do we
Well,
get there?
we have a 24-hour hotline. My phone is, I tell people, that phone is a government, that phone is a people phone. People call me any hour, day and night with my phone. That phone I have from Pachaco time. 424-895. The numbers never change. The number goes everywhere. Even when I was in Canada, my number was with me in Canada, okay? So we have a 24-hour hotline for the persons. We ain't plan to stop now to the grace of God. Once there's an issue, be prepared to hear us speak. Like I said before, the door that I haven't knocked on yet is a door that has not been built. And so we here. We out here. We here. Like I said, we open up a branch in Freeport where persons right now it's home based, but persons in Freeport have an outlet now they can go and get closer with their children. They have an outlet now where they can call a pastor and speak with a pastor, have a pastor, pray with them.
Okay.
Wendy Fox, she's the senior community liaison officer down there, and she makes sure the children get what they need and so forth. So we here. We can't bring your loved one back, no. But our job is to make your grieving a little bit easier. You know what I mean? So attending
Easier.
the
Right.
court case you want to, attend the funeral, us holding candlelight vigil. We here. We'll do it for them.
That's awesome. And I guess teachers and people who have that affinity would be welcome to assist with all your activities, particularly with helping with the children and building themselves to become productive citizens in the midst of
Yeah.
all of this trauma that they have to go through. Yes, awesome. Well, Gandhi, we'd like to thank you kindly for blessing us with coming on the show to share what's happening with F.O.A.M and what's on the ground, what's real. Because, a lot of places we go, people just talking, but we talk it superficially and we don't really get a good feel for what is really what. And we're glad that you took the time to share it with us today. And hopefully there's a value to people out there and they would want to either reach out to assist you or through some other mechanism cause the lid to be risen for all of the children out there and families who are the victims, or not the victim, but the families are the victims, yeah. So without ado though, we always ask our guests to share with the public what they would like, what's on their heart that they want to say to the public. I know you said a lot already, but what other things you would like to say to the public?
I would want to say this: the Bible declares, knowing a brother or sister in need, and you shall have your bowels of compassion. How dwelleth the love of God in you?
You gotta code that one, yeah. Awesome. Very good, very good. Well, thank you kindly again, like I mentioned here, and we wish you all of the best. And if there's anything we could do to help, we hope this little show here has helps you in a big way also. But anything else that we could do, if it's within our reach, we will try to reach beyond to get it done. Alvida
Thank you.
is tuned right in and saying all the best as usual, as from herself. You know, that's mom, you know. I know that's your mom and that's my mom too. She's
Thank you, Miss Moss. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good people. You don't find them like that too much no more either.
Never.
Even now, she's still, hey, happy you okay? Okay, all right, yeah, you know how I go. So, thank you everybody out there in social media around the world who's tuned in. If you want to, we had a number on the screen just now. You could touch into Gandhi and F.O.A.M and help them along the way and so forth. And we welcome you all. Anybody want to help, something to think about? We try to work through us to get to organizations like Gandhi to assist them in their ways. Madam Producer, as usual, you spot on. You're keeping me closer to the 1 hour mode, and getting there. One day we'll be spot on the 1 hour, but I mean, this is powerful stuff, so we don't want to cut Gandhi short. And by all means, we're still in the COVID environment, so please, 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 if you are not vaccinating, isolate. Protect yourself, protect your families, protect your Grammys. If that's the only people you're going to protect is your grandparents. Look at it that way. Stay safe and enjoy.